Hey, good people. Been playing Marvel Rivals and you want to get better with Moon Knight? Well, before I get into the details of how to do that, let's look at his abilities real quick, alright? So, for Moon Knight, he's primarily a projectile kind of character. So, we start off with his crescent dart attack, which is throwing a barrage of crescent darts, right? So, that's going to be your R2 console and your left click PC. Next is going to be your alt hand of Khonshu. That's going to be your L3R3 console and then Q. It's going to give you a circle area. You hit the alt and it's going to send down 10 hands of Khonshu. Does a lot of damage in that small area. This is about to get buffed to 14, I believe. Then we've got Night Glider. Just you can glide just to get around a little faster, but it's not that fast. That's going to be your L1 or your L shift. Then this is the heart of Moon Knight's kit. It throws, let's say, a relay. You throw this relay, everything in the circle will have his primary projectiles and his moon blade bounce off of it, all right? So this is how you're going to deal a lot of damage. This is going to be your R1 and then your E. Then you got Moonlit Hook. That's just your hook shot. So a tip with this, if you shoot this below your feet, it'll give you a nice tall jump off the ground higher than even your jumps could go. So that's an expert tip with that. Other than that, aim for above where you want to land because it's always going to put you right under it if you use it directly to a point other than hitting it under you, okay? That's going to be your circle and your F key. Then you've got triple eclipse. Your triple eclipse is just your melee. It's going to be your R3 and that's going to be your V. Then you got rise and leap. Rise and leap is just a double jump. That's going to be X and then that's going to be space. Then you got Moonblade. This is throwing a blade projectile out in front of you that does more damage with the one hit versus his regular projectile attack. And lastly, you have Full Moon. This is your team up ability only with cloak and dagger. This just puts a circle around you and it lets you be invisible. And you can still throw projectiles out and remain invisible for a few seconds. And now let's get into some tips. Let's start off with positioning. Moon Knight is a mid-range character, alright? Up to 30 meters is his optimized range. Past that, you're going to start having some damage fall off. So try not to have extra far engagements if you can help it. And make sure you are playing him like a ninja. Play him like a moon ninja, y'all. Stick to rooftops. Stick to high ground. It gives you a better view of your Ankh, your abilities, the enemies. It's just where he excels. And when you are shooting at a medium distance or more, try to lead your shots. You have to, because your shots don't move all that fast. And your shots are going to favor hitting the target if you lead them more right than left due to the third person perspective of the characters in this game. Another tip that I want to give y'all is when you're up there and let's say you get a few kills or you're spotted by an enemy, don't stay in the same spot. Because once you get those kills and your enemies see the kill cam, guess what? They are coming after you. Don't stay in the same spot because you're just raising that probability that they're going to switch to a character that hard counters you and just going to come smoke you. So make sure once you get a few kills, move to another rooftop, another high vantage point, and just keep switching up just to keep them guessing. So along with that tip, use your movement tech to stay mobile and as hidden as possible. Keep using your invisibility, but keep in mind that's only going to draw attention to you if you're really trying to hide. I would only use that when you're kind of out in the open and you're forced to be more out in the open, but you never really want to take on people close up if you can avoid that. So use your hook shot, use your glide, and always try to use your movement tech as often as possible to position yourself with the high ground. Now, best damage tips, y'all. Shoot enemies in the Ankh area. Now, I know it sounds simple, but what do I mean by that? Use your Ankh more primarily to augment the damage from your direct hits, or use it to kind of shoot around corners, or just amplify the damage you're already doing. You actually do more damage if you hit the target directly in the circle of the Ankh because it'll hit the target, bounce off the Ankh back to the target, and so forth, versus just throwing the Ankh and then hitting the Ankh and having those projectiles go hit the target. So keep that in mind, but the Ankh is just great to use, period. Now, one of your most trusted combos here is going to be using your crescent dart. So fire a volley of your crescent dart, immediately throw an Ankh in the area that you want, and follow that up with a moon blade, because yes, that also bounces off the Ankh, like I said, and follow it up with more crescent darts. This combo is nasty and it will melt pretty much any 250 health diver or character that comes after you. This is your combo right here. Now, as you're doing damage, you're gonna see that you're gonna get your ult pretty damn frequently. And the proper way to use your ult is to try to get the high ground so you have a better view. Use your ult activated, and immediately as you activate it, throw an Ankh in the middle of that circle to pull your enemies in, because that's what the Ankh does. It pulls them in. And after that, execute the rest of that combo. Throw your Moonblade and throw more crescent darts, and you will see you will just start melting people. Now let's talk about defense, y'all. Your Ankh is going to be your best defense against characters that hard counter you. That's going to be Spider-Man. That's going to be Star-Lord. That's going to be especially Iron Man. This is going to be mostly aerial characters and characters that can move on you quick. They're nightmares, y'all. So, best way to do this is to position your Ankh wherever you're stationed up before they come get you. Because enemy like Spider-Man has to hit you up close. So if you already have that Ankh position where you're standing, as soon as they come into your area, especially if they don't see the Ankh, you can just fire off that Moonblade and fire off your crescent darts, and you can end up winning a lot of those engagements. Another defensive move is to use your team up when you have cloak and dagger in your team. When you're kind of in the back line of your team, which you don't really want to be in the back line of your team, unless it's just one of those situations you're trying to help with the point, or you just find yourself there. It does happen, but that's probably the situations where being invisible is going to help the most, because they won't exactly be able to see you, and you can still launch projectiles out. So always try to keep in mind, play Moon Knight like a ninja from high up vantage points and use those combos. Also, another tip, before you throw that Ankh, make sure you reloaded your crescent darts, okay? Just make sure, because there's nothing worse than throwing the Ankh, being able to throw just one volley of crescent darts, then having to reload, and you've already lost your window. They're gonna escape from the Ankh area, and now you gotta wait for your cooldowns. These are really good tips. I promise you they will help your game. But to my Moon Knight pros out there, please give us more tips out here in the comments. Please tell us what you do. Tell me what I missed. I would love to hear it. And also, if this helped you at all, please drop a like. Please subscribe if you're new for more Marvel Rivals content. I'll try to keep it going for you as long as y'all liking it. And thank you for supporting. I'm out.